Hi, I'm Linda Shetton-Matchett, author, speaker, and history geek. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Moments in History. Today, what we're going to be making is broiled grapefruit for four, and we're going to be using Lola Wyman's Better Meals in Wartime that was published in 1943. The recipe calls for 2 large grapefruit, 4 tablespoons of brown sugar, nutmeg, and 3 tablespoons of margarine. We'll be walking you through that recipe as we get through the process, and you can see how that's done, and you can easily do this in your home. Interestingly, when we went to the grocery store, it was a little bit challenging to find some things. Right now it's December in New Hampshire, and so finding grapefruits is really challenging. So we did come up and we found 2 pink grapefruits in the store. They were 2 of 4, and the other 4 were not good looking. So again, something that the folks back in World War II would have had to deal with is they would have gone to the grocery store with an idea of what they wanted to make for dinner, only to find that items either were not there or the items that were there were not palatable. So they would have to figure out how to make things differently. So again, grab your pen, keep an eye out on the video, and learn how to make broiled grapefruit for 4. Cut the grapefruit in halves. Remove the seeds carefully, being sure not to tear the meat. Take a sharp knife and loosen the fruit from each section, finely cutting around the outer edge so that each portion is free. For creating royals.
No, royale is you take it out of it, you peel it, and then you take whole sections with your knife.
Ah, okay. So this is actually just going to loosen it so that the folks can eat it when it's done on the other end.
Apparently.
Okay. So we're using a paring knife here to get the seeds out of the flesh, because you don't want to run into a seed when you're eating it. These are nice looking grapefruit. Notice how the skin is very thin around the meat, so there's lots and lots of meat for that grapefruit. Sometimes when you open them up, you'll find that the rind is really thick, and you have a lot less grapefruit than you thought you were going to get when you bought it. So these are very, very nice looking grapefruit. We have set the oven moderately hot, and it is going to warm up before we put the grapefruits into the oven. As you can see, he's using a small paring knife to cut around the edge so that we can loosen, and now he's reaching in and he's going to separate the segments from the pith so that, again, in order to eat it, you just tuck your spoon in there and pull each of the sections out. Somewhat tedious, but again, making it a lot nicer experience for the diner. You don't want them to have to use a grapefruit spoon to eat this. This is a dessert, both healthy and delicious.
I've noticed when I'm using my finger to prevent the knife from going through and poking the bottom of the grapefruit.
A very handy tip. That way it doesn't bleed the juice all over the pan.
Right.
And the goodness will stay inside the grapefruit. Not difficult, but it is time consuming, and it does take a little bit of practice so that you don't puncture the bottom of the grapefruit, and that you do cut very carefully between these sections. Okay, so now we are going to spread 1 tablespoon of brown sugar on each half.
Where's the butter come in?
Dot with margarine,
Okay.
and sprinkle with nutmeg.
So how much?
1 tablespoon of brown sugar on each one.
1 tablespoon.
Again, these are probably not the best measuring spoons. As you can see, the shape of them, they're very, very flat. We definitely recommend one that is more of a literal spoon.
Change a volume to it, that's what you're saying?
Yeah. And as yummy as brown sugar is, you know, you don't have to stick to the recipe. You can put more or less brown sugar on the top of each.
Well, since the spoon doesn't actually measure anything, I'm winging
Yeah,
it.
I think that's best. As you'll see, he's covering the surface of the grapefruit. Now we dot those with margarine.
Just
As you can see, the brown sugar is already starting to be absorbed into the grapefruit. And now we will sprinkle that with nutmeg. The halves are going to go onto a pan and set directly under the broiler, but you don't want to put it too close to the flame. Those will broil for approximately 12 minutes until the tops are lightly brown. Thanks for tuning in today and watching today's episode of Moments in History. If you've enjoyed the episode, please feel free to click the subscribe button so that you can catch more episodes as they come out. And click the like button if you've enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to learn more history, stop by my blog that can be found on my website at www.lindashentonmatchett.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.